Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are back in my kitchen today. So I'm back home, um, and for not being here for a few days, I do have some things to top up on, and some of which is bread. So we are gonna start today's proceedings with needing some flour for bread, right? Hi, so we just started, and for those of you who are new here, welcome to my channel. I have not been home for a few days, which means that I have to top up on some things that I usually would have within the household, and one of which is bread. So today we're making just one batch of bread, which is 4 loaves, and so I'm going to be needing one set of flour, and then I also have to bake some chicken for my husband. So I have chicken to clean, season to make, and bread to make also. So we're starting off strong with some bread. 1 second, guys. Right, so we're starting off with making bread, and I know there is a dry measuring cup and a wet measuring cup. Put up below there, please. And I usually like to knead out my flour, or measure out my flour, as I should say, with the wet measuring cup. So this is what we're using to measure out our dry ingredients and our wet ingredients. So I'm going to be using 5 cups of all-purpose flour, right? So for those of you who are new here, my name is Cherise and I'm from Trinidad, right? And today we have a few things to get doing in the kitchen because I wasn't home for a few days. So I do have some things to top up on, some of which is bread, right? So I'm going to start by kneading some flour for some bread here. Michael watches that side of him there, right? So I'm going to measure out 5 cups using the wet measuring cup measurement. I'm going to be using 5 cups of all-purpose flour. This does not need to be sifted. However, if you sift it, that's fine, right? This is my 1 cup measurement. It's full all the way to the top. Hi, Alama. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon of salt. And this container just has salt in it, but I know how to eyeball it, but it's 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to be using 1 sachet of instant yeast. Just getting my scissors. So I'm going to use 1 pack of instant yeast. And in Trinidad, we also have Fermi-pan yeast. I don't like the Fermi-pan yeast. It tends to release a very strong yeasty smell in the bread, no matter how long you leave the bread raisin for. It could be a short time, it could be a long time, and it still releases that. This just makes you even hotter. Thank you. And it still releases that yeasty smell. So I prefer to use the Bruggerman packets of yeast. Right? So I'm using one whole packet. My children is downstairs as well and they're playing. So you're also gonna hear children in the background. That's too loud. We also gonna need 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And my Nesquik container is being repurposed to hold brown sugar. Oopsie. We're dealing with food today, right? So we're gonna focus on the food, right? And I'm using 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Right, and we're gonna give this a mix. This recipe does not have any eggs in it. It also does not have any milk in it. So for persons who don't like those things, you don't necessarily need to put it in your bread to get a very nice soft bread, right? So for this recipe, I'm going to be using margarine. In Trinidad, we call margarine butter, margarine. We say butter for everything, right? But this is margarine. So this is the brand that I'm using. And this box comes with 2 sticks like this. I'm only going to be using half of this stick of butter to actually knead the flour. So I'm going to cut half of this, put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds to melt it down, and then we're going to incorporate it into our dough. Good. So I'm just going to cut this in half. Right, so this is our half a stick of butter. So I'm going to put this in the microwave for like 30 seconds just to melt it down. Also, when you are making bread, or when I am making bread, I would tend to use water, not too cool water, but not too hot water. Just that in between temperature to knead the flour in, and this is going to help the bread raise faster, especially if you live in a cold climate or in cold climates. It's going to be ideal for that. It's going to help you raise your bread much faster. You're not using hot water because you don't want to kill the yeast. You don't want the yeast to not become activated. So using your warm water is going to help you achieve that, right? So I have my melted butter and I'm going to pour it in. I'm going to fill 3/4 of this cup with normal room temperature water and then another 1/4 cup with hot water, and that's going to give me my ideal temperature water to knead my flour. Right, so this is So for me, we are a big family. So in Trinidad, one loaf of bread usually costs around 17 TT dollars. And we eat a lot of bread here in my household. So it's actually much cheaper for me to actually make bread versus buying bread at the bakery or at the grocery store. And I generally enjoy making bread for my family. I know what's going into them versus buying it at the grocery store. Your bread tends to may have chemicals in it. So I prefer to know exactly what I'm putting into my bread for my family. And my bread recipe, you can actually tailor it to suit you. You could add your nuts, you could add, yes, so, and usually like 4 loaves of bread tends to usually last us like 3 to 4 days. Because in like for one meal, because we tend to eat a lot of carbs here in Trinidad, so one meal, let's say breakfast, may consist of 3 to 4 slices of bread with eggs or sausage. So that's, it's a major part of our breakfast or our dinner. My children love to eat it with peanut butter. No, I've never been to Jamaica before. So my children also like to eat bread with other variations of things throughout the day. So they have that freedom of being able to say, well, I want bread, and it's not really a restriction. Or if it's finished and I say I have to go to the grocery, so there is no bread, I can make my own bread at home. And I usually make 2 batches, and that would probably last us for the entire week going into the weekend. But today I have a few other things to do, so I'm only going to be making 1 set, which is going to give me 4 loaves of bread. But as I said, everybody has their preference in terms of what they want to do. I just choose to make my own bread for my family. You could do otherwise. So I'm just kneading that flour. I'm going to incorporate the water into the flour to bring it to a dough consistency. So I'm going to gradually add in my 2nd cup of water to make sure that we get the consistency that we want. Right? And this is 5 cups of flour. And my 5 cups of flour is going to give me 4 loaves of bread. And I know there is a dry measuring cup and a wet measuring cup. However, I am using the wet measuring cup for both my dry and wet ingredients. It's what works best for me. Right? So for those of you who would have tuned in last week and over the weekend, you all would know that I spent some time by my granny, and I did some cooking there for her and for the rest of the family that lives there and who visited. So now I'm back home and I have to top up on things that I would usually have at home. Yes, I'm making bread. You want some bread? So I'm just kneading that flour. We want to make sure that it comes to a really nice dough consistency. And then while I am baking bread, and I have the oven on as well, I'm gonna be baking some chicken for my husband as well. Mustafa, hi, how are you doing? One second, guys. stays in. Right? So majority of our flour has come together really nicely. So I'm just gonna knead that. Make sure it's kneaded, and we really want to activate the gluten in this. So we are gonna knead our bread or our dough for roughly 4 to 6 minutes. I'm just taking off the excess dough off of my hands. So this recipe does not contain any eggs or any milk. So for persons who don't consume either, it's gonna be ideal. It just has margarine in it or butter. But if you don't want to add that, then you can also add like half cup of oil if you so choose to, you know, not have any type of dairy product at all into your dough. Hi, bonjour. You're back from yesterday. So today we're home and we're making bread. Vincent. Right, so I am just using my fingers to pull the dough and the palm of my hand to push the dough, and I'm simultaneously moving the bowl, and this is going to activate the gluten into our dough. And we're just kneading the flour for roughly 4 to 6 minutes. It depends on how your dough is. You would know where's the middle ground in order for you to knead your flour. Alright, and this is my dough. Hi Russell, it's me again, your French friend. Yes, I remember the name. I did, Vincent. So we've kneaded our flour. Now I'm gonna get a cloth. I'm going to wet it and cover it down, and this is gonna keep my moisture in my dough, because you don't want your dough to dry out. If your dough dries out, then your bread is gonna be very crumbly, and you don't want a crumbly bread. You want a nice soft bread, right? So I'm gonna wash my hands, get a wetter cloth, and come back and cover my dough, and then I'll take you guys by the sink, because I do have to clean chicken in order to bake chicken for my husband one time.
Hey boy.
My cloth isn't exactly soaking wet. It's just damp, because we don't want it too wet to wet up the dough and make the dough soggy, right? So I'm gently covering it over the bowl like this, and we're gonna allow this to double in size. Hi Russell, how are you? Michael, hi. Shalom. Be careful. Right, let me just make space here, because before I do all of that, I do have the baby to feed. So let's feed him, and then we're gonna move on to the chicken, right? Excellent. Good to know you're doing great. Right, so we do have the baby to feed. So I do have to feed him before I move on to anything else because he just woke up from his nap, which means he's hungry, right? Michael, come please. Bring that closer to me. Yeah. So, as I was saying, we're in my kitchen today, and we are topping up on things that need to be topped up on because I was not home for a few days. So, I do have a few things to touch up on at home, which is my bread, and we already need the flour for the bread. And also, I do have to bake some chicken. That is for my husband's lunch and stuff. Oh, thank you, my ponytail. Thank you. Check my bag. Both of them supposed to be in my bag. Yeah. So that's what we're doing today. So we're spending some time in the kitchen. Also, I have some stuff to clean up at home. I have my kitchen area to clean up and stuff because when I left, it was sort of like a rush decision, so I didn't really get to put away and clear up like I would usually do. Hi June Beats, good day. How are you? How are you? So for those of you who are new here, my name is Cherise, and on my channel you are gonna see, check by the computer, you are gonna see content surrounding you're gonna see a lot of kitchen content. You're also gonna see no doubles today. I'm home today, and I was not gonna say you're gonna see me eating doubles from time to time, but today isn't that doubles day. We're in the kitchen today, and I have been in the kitchen for a few days. Well, so I did not buy doubles in quite a while. Let's say about roughly a week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah, because we were doing some cooking. So yeah, I have some things to top up on at home, like my bread and stuff. So that's what we're doing today. I'm not cooking food today because my granny gave me food from yesterday to bring back home, so I'll probably cook tomorrow. I did have a late start today. I did have some I just needed to rest a little bit longer today, so I did not start very early. So this is I'm at a pretty late start, but the last time I think I did bread this time with you guys. So while I'm making bread, I'm also gonna be baking chicken. Hi. Your screen name is I don't understand your screen name, so, but hi. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're in the kitchen. I'm gonna take you guys by the sink. I do have the fish. Okay. I do have some stuff to clean up by the sink also. Goodbye, Russell. And then I would start to clean the chicken. I also have seasoning to make, just a little bit of seasoning to make for the chicken as well. So y'all are gonna see that with whatever I do have to make green seasoning, because I generally use very minimal powdered seasonings. I more use fresh green seasonings. So I do have that to prepare as well, right? So let me put the baby to look at a show because they were watching a cartoon, and we're gonna come back. I'm not sure what I don't celebrate Christmas, but I'm not sure what I'm gonna be doing that day, but y'all will definitely get alive with whatever I'm preparing. 1 second. I don't want you playing on the floor. Come on this side. Good. So I'm gonna take you guys back by the sink with me because I do have to clean some chicken now. So let's go. You can get a book for her so she can draw also. So I do have some things to clean up by the sink. So we're gonna do that. Let me just lengthen my tripod. One second, guys. Good. So before I clean anything, hi Christopher aboard. Before I clean anything, oh, you're outside on patrol. Nice to hear that. Hello, Cherie. Hi, Patty. Hello, Cherise. I enjoy your content. I'm also a mother and a wife, and I must say I admire how you take care of your family. Thank you. That is good. That is with God's help. I can definitely tell you that. Heidi Savage. Oh, let me just right. My tripod looks kind of bent. So I have a few things to wash up from lunch, and then I'm going to begin cleaning the chicken because once the oven comes on, I want to be able to bake the bread and also bake the chicken one time. So that is what we're doing. I still have the seasoning to make, but one thing at a time. I am blessed the savage. Truly I am. It's good to be back home in my kitchen cooking as well. I love to cook for my granny as well. But I love cooking for my family. So that's what we're doing today. We're taking care of things that we have to do at home, topping up what needs to be topped up. Alright? So y'all are gonna see, parts of my day where it may be a bit chaotic because the babies, all the children are up. And we're doing this, we're ringing it with God. Alright, so I'm just I like a clean area. So I'm just cleaning up my space before I start to clean the chicken. And we're gonna be baking leg and thigh today. Well, that's what I generally bake, leg and thigh, right? But this time around I have to clean and season as I go along because I did not clean and season in bulk, or I didn't clean in a bulk. Okay, nice. I did not clean in a big bulk way that I usually do because we buy in bulk, but I did not actually get a time to clean in bulk like I would usually do. So I'm taking out one packet, and this is what it's. Let me just kind of drain out that water because it is stored out. So this is generally what my leg and thigh looks like. So I'm gonna clean it up. Hey. Oh, hi Russell. Alright. So we're gonna clean this up. And we eat a lot of chicken. Yeah, quarter legs. So we eat a lot of chicken, so we tend to buy it in bulk. But I like to remove, when it comes to my chicken or my meat, I like to remove the skins off of my chicken, especially when it comes to thighs. Right, so I'm gonna be removing the skin. To me, the skin holds a lot of freshness, so I like to remove it. Clean it thoroughly. Yeah, I don't play that. I seriously don't play that. I like to clean my chicken so well. I like to punch some holes in it so that when I do squeeze the lime or the lemon in it, you know, it really gets in there and cut that freshness. Yeah, taking the skin off is a must, yeah. Yeah, I don't play that. It have very few things that sometimes I may leave the skin on. Hi Orion. Okay, I just learned something. Yes, I am married. You are definitely new here. Alright. I would always leave, I would tend to kind of leave the skin sometimes on wings, because you know wings are so frail, they are so tiny sometimes, that if you strip the skin off of it, then you tend to run a chance of actually stripping the chicken itself. So I would tend to leave that alone. And her husband looks like a soldier. Yeah. Well, you know, he is in national security, so yeah. So yeah. Hi. What do you need, Mama? You what? You wanna watch Barbie?
No.
Okay. Right. I've never seen a skinless chicken wing. I don't think I've ever seen that either. Yeah? You want to have some juice? Yeah? 1 second, guys. Here. Like it? Yeah? Okay. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, so I like to punch holes in it inside. It really helps cut the freshness in your chicken really fast. And And I also like to cut off this little piece from by the thigh as well. Normally I would usually do this in like a bulk way. So when we buy it at the end of the month, I would tend to clean all the chickens, all the packs once I could. But I had a few things well to do, so I didn't get to do that. So I'm now, as I need it, I'm cleaning it out and seasoning it as well. I also ran out of seasoning, so I got some seasoning this weekend. So that's why I said, you know what, I would show you guys how I do it as well. For those who are new here, because I've cleaned chicken and I've seasoned chicken on here with you guys a few times well. So how do you all clean your chicken? So for me, sometimes I also, even though I've added lime or lemon to my chicken, when we have finished cleaning it, I also add in a little bit of vinegar, white vinegar, in it as well. It helps to cut the freshness by a lot. And we are on the last one. See if you could give him his bottle, son. Oh, his bottle doesn't have anything in it. 1 second, guys. We're doing this with the babies on the other side of us too, so want to make sure that they are well fed. Right? 1 second. I think the baby wants to have some juice as well, so I'm going to put some juice in his bottle. Good. So we're back. I just want to give the baby some juice. Right? And like I said, we're on the last, this is the last piece of chicken to clean. So generally, if I don't have lime or lemon, it's fine to use the vinegar alone to cut the freshness out of your chicken. Right. So I'm just going to put these things to the side. I'm going to discard of these pieces of the skin and the whatever little guts it had. I'm going to discard of these. So for me, thighs tend to be, I think thighs for me are the freshest part of the meat. So I like to wash them really good. To me, it takes the most amount of seasoning as well. So we're rinsing it out. I'm gonna add back some water in here. And also when you put vinegar and or lime, what it does as well is when you come and you allow it to soak for like roughly around 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes if you could, you're gonna get off any skin that did not come off properly when you were cleaning it. So you will tend to see any extra impurities that need to be cleaned out. Alright, so I'm just cleaning my knife because I need my knife to cut the lines. And we have some really ripe limes, so they aren't green. When they are really ripe, they turn yellow like this, and it will have a lot of juice in there. Have you been seasoned a chicken? I season chicken. I'm not sure if you're asking me if I've ever seasoned chicken before, but I season my chicken really well with green seasoning. So I'm adding 1.5 limes in here. The next half we will squeeze a little bit when we are seasoning the chicken as well. Have you seasoned chicken before? Yeah, I did. And I'm also going to be using some vinegar in there. Not much. And we're just going to allow this to soak for a little bit, right? While we organize the seasoning. Right? Gonna do it right here because the table, we're already doing bread by the table, so I don't want to wet up the table too much. So we're gonna just clean, wash off the seasoning here, give it a rough chop because we're gonna put it into the chopper today, not the blender. So for today's season isn't anything too like dramatic like I would usually do. We're just doing some shadow benny or bandanya, as some persons may know it as. So just get a bowl, put it on the side here. And I like to cut off this part because this part can be replanted in the ground and you could get seasoning like throughout the month. Alright, so this is just like a rough chop, nothing too small, nothing too big. I'm gonna be using all of this because tomorrow I do plan to cook, so if I make all of the seasoning today, I won't have to make seasoning tomorrow, and I could just start cooking one time. Alright, rough chop. Put it, I have a bowl on the side of me here that I'm just putting it in. Hello, hi. And we have pimentos here. I'm Lauren. Hi, how are you? So we're just gonna we're not using this entire bag. because I love my seasoning to have some color, I am going to be using this red one. This just means it's right. It isn't a hot or spicy pepper. It's a pimento. It's for flavor, right? So I'm going to be using like 4, and I'm going to leave back 4 in the bag as well. And give them a wash. And we are doing a rough cut again. Cutting off the stem because you don't need the stem. And we're just giving it a rough cut, right? So we're gonna do it in like big chunks like this, because when it goes into the chopper, it's gonna get smaller, or it's gonna get the ideal size that we want it to be at, right? So for our season today, we're just doing some shadow benny, some garlic, and some pimento in the chopper, right? That's gonna be our seasoning. And we have some garlic here. And might do a whole head of a small garlic. And remove the skins. You don't necessarily need to cut up the garlic smaller. It's already small. Right, and this is a simple season that we're just making for our chicken. Right? I'm not doing the very tiny pieces. I don't like cleaning the very tiny pieces, if I'm being honest. It takes up way too much time. When my big son is in the kitchen with me, he cleans all of them for me. I don't throw them away, I just use them or clean them when he's in the kitchen with me. Good practice, good fine motor skills, you know. A nice way to exercise their fine motor skills. If you take the back of a knife and hit it, it's going to separate the skin for you a lot faster than you could do it with your hands. It's just easy to peel off. You just have 3 more to do. No, I didn't cut up any onion. My son loves onions.
And it's better when it's raw.
He likes to eat them when it's raw. So when I cut up onion, he's be like, "Mommy, can I have some onion, please?" And he'll just come and take a few and eat it. Just like that. Right? So this is our last clove. Good. So I'm just gonna give this a rough chop. I'm gonna take you guys and show you guys what it would look like. Yeah, 1 second. My son is coming to do this part. He likes to do this.
Hello.
Right, so go ahead and put it in. Oh, yeah. Take it up with your hands.
Just want to eat this season.
Put it in.
And this is getting full, guys. Okay, this might be enough. Mom, is this good? Is it good?
Yeah. Okay.
No. Hello, Bee.
Hello.
Hello.
Do it again.
I'm good. Is this good, Mom?
Yeah, that's good. So our season is right. So this is the season that we're working with. So we're going back by the sink and we're gonna start to season the. Oh, there's more. Okay, I didn't know there was more. Yeah, pick it up for him now, please. Okay, so he said it could not fit, so we're just gonna put the rest in here.
You want to smell some? Read the comments.
He doesn't want any more. Thank you, Mama.
Look.
Yeah? Miss Oogies, your son Michael is very smart than mother. So Michael is the oldest one. So the others are babies, right? So let's get that straight one time.
Oh, no, that was a toddler. She's 3.
Alright, go ahead. Seasoning look like versus the blended seasoning. Thank you, son. Go wash your hands, right? Alright, so we have some beautiful seasoning here. Smells good. Smells really good. So we're gonna go back to the sink area. Pick it up for him, please, Mama. Alright. Good. So what we're gonna do is essentially we are going to drain off the chicken here that was soaking. Alright. Try to remove any fatty pieces. So because it was soaking, it got off any excess fatty pieces that needed to be removed. Right? I do also have to comb my daughter's hair. So we'll see if we can do that on the live because we are waiting for the bread to raise. When we are finished here, we will go check on the bread, see if the bread needs to go in, see if the bread is ready to go in pans. Alright, nice. So our chicken, the freshness has been cut tremendously. I'm just gonna give them one extra rinse again. Before we start seasoning. And we're gonna bake this chicken. So we're gonna start off by putting our seasoning in there. I'm gonna get some pink salt. My husband, I usually cook with pink salt for my husband. And I also like to put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there as well when I'm seasoning his chicken. And we're gonna give this a mix, right? I don't see any problem using my hands, but I know some persons prefer to use like a spoon or something, but I do want to put just a little bit more. Season this thoroughly. Hi Chris, what's up? Yes, you're late. How you doing? What you're cooking? So we started off by kneading flour for bread, and I've just moved on to seasoning some chicken to bake for my husband. So I showed, how I made grind up seasoning, not the seasoning that I would usually make in the blender, right? I used my chopper today, and this is what my chicken looks like seasoned. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into the deep freeze just to marinate for the time being. It's probably going to marinate for like 30 minutes. And we're going to move back to our bread to put our bread in pans because our bread has risen enough to go into pans. So I'm just going to put this into the deep freeze, and we're going to allow this to marinate for like 30 minutes, and then we're going to put it into a tray to be baked, okay? You found your towel? You all done with the juice? How many loaves? I'm just making 4 loaves today.
Hello.
Thank you. No, you're not getting anything. No. I said no. Come on, listen.
Hi.
Come, say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, we're just making 4 loaves today because I did have a late start. I took some time to rest a bit, and as you can see, I'm home in my kitchen today. So I was just topping up on some things. My husband brought home these juices from work, so I'm having one now. here with the keys. Right? And we also made, like I was showing them, we made some seasoning. Right? I do have to cook tomorrow. I have to talk with my husband and decide what I'm cooking for tomorrow. But I made the seasoning that I had remaining there, just so that I won't have to do it tomorrow. When I start to cook, it will just be to cook, you know. I may have to clean more chicken tomorrow to cook, as maybe to stew or curry or something. But we'll see how that goes tomorrow when we decide what I'm actually cooking tomorrow. Alright, so I'm going to take you guys back by the table to see about our bread. Oh yeah, you were here the last time we made, Chris, you were here the last time we made the 4 loaves of bread, the 8 loaves of bread. So our dough definitely did double in size, and this is what it looks like, doubled in size. But we do have to butter our pans. So I'm gonna get my 4 bread pans, and we're gonna butter that up, and then we're gonna put them in the pans. So let me just take down the tripod a bit so we're at an even level. Right. Good. So I have my bread pans here. Later down in the week, I will do possibly I will do like the 8 loaves of bread. But today I had a little bit of a late start and I was a bit tired. So I didn't bother to do the 8 loaves like I would usually start the week with. But nevertheless, we move. Hi Corinne, how are you? Thank you so very much. You comment on almost everything that I post. My lives, my shorts, my long form. Thank you so very much. So we're just gonna butter the pans. Right? Corinne does not miss a post, even my post. So thank you so very much for, you know, constantly interacting with my content and, you know, checking out my page. I will also be adding like membership. So I've added, if you check the link in my bio or under some of my videos, you all will see that I do have a membership package or group where I would go live with just members alone. Yeah, membership. So you all can check that out. And if you all are interested in that type of content where it's just strictly membership, then feel free to click the link in my description. I will be adding, for persons who are interested in some of the things that I use, females that might be interested in the makeup that I use, I will start linking them in my description. So y'all would be able to shop some of those products on Amazon. Let me know if that's something you'd want. For persons who are interested in cooking, my cooking content and some of the products or the things that I use to cook, once they're available on Amazon, I will link them so it's easier for you all to get a hold of some of the utensils and ingredients. So let me know, and I could start linking them in my description for you guys. if that's something that you all want. Hi Natasha, how are you? I had to come in a little bit closer to see the name. So we're gonna put our bread in pans. This is the last bread pan that I am buttering here, and the reason we butter it is so that when it goes to bake, our bread doesn't stick to the pans. It's just gonna easily slide out of the pans, right? Right? So I'm gonna slightly put some flour on my surface here, not too much. And we're gonna put our whole dough out on the table here. Right, so we separated that, and we're gonna cut this into 4 parts. If you want to get technical and want to get specific and you want to measure it on a scale, you could do that, but I generally have an idea of how I want or the size my bread is gonna be. Right, and we're just gonna put them into little balls like that. Our dough is pretty warm, right, and that is from kneading it with warm water. We setting that to the side. I'm not doing this in any particular order of how it was cut or anything like that. Hi, Papa. No, you can stay right there. Alright. And we're just pinching the top to seal it off, flip it over. You could put on tail for them to look at. Probably on the ground somewhere. Right, so I'm just gonna put this. Right, so we're gonna actually open this out like this now. Hold this to the side here. You could use a rolling pin to open it out if you like. And then you're gonna roll it. Roll it, roll it, roll it. Alright. And it's gonna double, even triple in size when we give it some time to rest. Just gonna roll it like that. Alright, putting it into the bread pan. When you finish putting it into the bread pans, you're gonna cover it with a damp cloth. Same way, put it in a warm area. If you don't have a warm area and your oven has the preheat setting, you can put it for 15 minutes on a preheat setting, or if your oven can go to 180 degrees, you're going to put it on 180 degrees for 15 minutes and it's going to raise beautifully. So for persons who are in cold climate areas, that's going to work really well for you. Today we do have some hot sun, so guess what? We are letting it raise with the temperature around us. Right, so our bread has gone in the pans. I'm going to put them in a warm area to raise for like roughly half an hour. I will come just now. I like to cover them 2 by 2, so that is what I'm going to do. And always remember to come back and clean your surface so as to minimize, especially in the Caribbean, when we have our homes open up, it's very easy for flies and stuff to come in. So making sure that your counter and stuff is cleared down and clean is gonna be ideal. So I'm gonna put my other items in the sink. Pack away what needs to be packed away. Trying to entertain the baby at the same time. So I'm just spraying down my counter. Like to have a clean surface. I know some persons had stayed from start to finish to see my bread the last time. I hope you all come back. So I'm gonna put on my oven so that we could start to get the oven warmed up for the chicken to go into the oven while we wait for the bread to raise. Hi, Isaac. How many of you know what are you doing? So I love your voice. Thank you. So who is this? I am making bread. So we already put our bread in pans and we already seasoned some chicken, some leg quarters in order to bake some chicken. So I'm going to turn on the oven right now to heat up so that we can bake the chicken. Your English is very good. Thank you. Right? So I'm going to put on the oven so that we can have that oven being heated up so that we can get our cooking going. Right? In this pot, this is usually where you live. I live in Trinidad, so this pot is usually my teapot. So I cook a lot of herbal tea in here. So in here it's currently bay leaf and cinnamon in this pot. So I'm just gonna pour it out into a cup to kind of make space on my stove. Bay leaf, what's that? Want some tea? Okay. So if you have trouble relaxing to sleep at night, bay leaf and cinnamon tea is going to help you relax so much. But what I would advise you to do is, let's say you put it to boil in the morning time and leave it in your pot soaking while you're not there, if you're at work or whatnot, while you're not there, and when you come back at night, you can have a nice hot cup of tea and it's gonna make you sleep beautifully. This is actually one of my favorite teas to make, cinnamon and bay leaf. Sometimes if I have fever grass, I'm gonna put some fever grass in there, or lemongrass, as some persons may know it as. So that lemongrass or fever grass with bay leaf, cinnamon and clove, guys, beautiful when I tell you. So I'm just hotting up some water because my son wants to have some tea. So this is what the bay leaves would look like. And I'm putting cinnamon stick, not the cinnamon powder. You're gonna allow the cinnamon stick to be drawn with everything else. So not cinnamon powder, but the cinnamon stick or spice stick. When I was pregnant, I used to drink this coming closer down to the 9 months, and this essentially used to help me get sleep in the night because I could not sleep at all with the pain and the contractions and stuff. I couldn't sleep at all, so this helps a lot. So I'm gonna put half of the tea mixture and the next half with hot water, and then like 1 spoon of sugar, and my son is gonna have this tea. My daughter doesn't really like the tea very much. Oh, so you can also make it as an iced tea as well. So you could sweeten it and put it into your fridge and make it as an iced tea, and it's just gonna be really potent as you're gonna sweeten just this alone. It's gonna be really potent, so you want to drink it in like small quantities, otherwise essentially you're gonna be very drowsy. But if that's what you want in order to sleep, then you drink it at your own risk, you know, as in how much. I would say how much, but it's very tasty. in this Nesquik container, it just has sugar in it. Why? Why? No, it has to get mixed.
Okay, let's do 2 spoons.
I used to be a heavy coffee drinker, but now I cannot drink that much coffee as I'm still breastfeeding. When I drink coffee and I breastfeed my son, he stays up late at night or all night. So he will take very short naps, like 15 minutes to half an hour naps, and then he's going to be up for like 2-3 hours, and then I don't get night sleep. So I have stopped drinking coffee for the time being, but coffee is something that I really like. No, I'm not drinking coffee right now. I said I was a heavy coffee drinker before I was pregnant because of the, especially this time around, this season, I am a beauty service provider, so I do work late. Persons who are working late and want to come and get their hair done late, I facilitate those late appointments. So I used to drink a lot of coffee in order to stay up at night, or to stay up for long intervals. But since I gave birth to my son, I drank coffee like a total of 4 times, and each time we thought it was just like a growth sprout or something like that, but each time I drank the coffee for like 2-3 days, he would not sleep at night, and I was not getting any type of night sleep. So therefore during the day I was exhausted, because then he's sleeping really well in the day, but then during the day I have things to do, things to take care of, business to take care of, and I have to do them. So I was really exhausted. So coffee is something that I've been staying away from for the time being. Yeah, my husband and I, we debated about it for quite a while, like to see if it was actually the coffee or if it was just a growth sprout, and he's like, okay, let's try the coffee another day in a separate, like a 2-week span, to see if it was actually the coffee, and it was indeed the coffee. So I only drink teas right now, but I like coffee for when I have to work late, or when my husband and I, we are up working late, like he's editing, and I say, okay, I have some orders to fulfill where my sewing is concerned, then I will stay up and drink coffee, but I have not done that in a while. I will come and do it. Right? So I just hi. Okay, so I'm gonna get the baby. Oh, 1 second. So we have the baby here with us. Say hi. What you looking at? He's stretching for the cup that's on the table. Right? So yeah, that's, generally what I do. So I have not drank coffee in quite a while. I drink mostly teas, water, and juice. That's it. I hardly drink any milk drinks. I haven't had ice cream in a little while. Michael, can you bring the blanket for me, please? I haven't had ice cream in a little while because I am lactose, so I tend not to drink a lot of things with milk. But sometimes my husband makes punches, and when he does, I do indulge in them a little because I love his peanut punch, and the beetroot punch tastes like ice cream, like snow cone, not ice cream, but snow cone. What are you doing? Say hi. Yeah, so I'm just waiting for the oven to go off. I'm baking the chicken at 400 degrees. My bread is going to be baked at 400 degrees as well, for 20 minutes. But we want to put in the chicken because my chicken tends to usually take like an hour and 20 minutes to cook. So, well, to bake. Right, so I'm waiting for my oven to go off, and yeah. Yeah, so for those of you, thanks for watching a view. I don't know what you mean by that. I think my son though is ready to sleep. So because he took a nap earlier on, like right before we started, but it was just like a 30-minute nap. He doesn't sleep for a very long time during the day. Hi Christopher, so what magnesium and calcium do I take? 1 second. So I usually take Nature's Bounty calcium. So this has this together with Esprit Vita Magnesium Glycinate. So this one, I take a combination of these two supplements as I am breastfeeding, because as a breastfeeding mom, breastfeeding tends to pull a lot of calcium from the teat areas. Like a month ago, I actually had to start taking these two. So the magnesium glycinate, this is 400 milligrams, together with the calcium 1200 milligrams from Nature's Bounty. I had to start taking them because I started to get really bad teeth pain. So I hope that helps, Christopher Laborde. I started to get really bad teeth pain. When I tell you, like, I could not chew on the right side of my teeth, and then I found out, okay, it's because the baby's teething that I am experiencing pain in my teeth. So I took that together with vitamin D3 capsules from Nature's Bounty as well, and I buy in Shalimab Clim. Okay, thank you. Well, I going back and write. Thank you for stopping in, my love. Yeah. So I started taking it because I started to get a lot of teeth pain, and it really helped when I started to take these two supplements. Stay on till I reach. Okay, no problem. I started to take these two supplements together with the D3, and and you know, the pain subsided a lot. If you can, I am gonna be staying on till the chicken is finished baking once we could, because I want to show them how the chicken looks as a baked, how it looks baked. Son, can put on the yeah, please. So, and also our outcome of the bread. So we are definitely gonna stay tuned for that. I know there are persons, if you have a nice little boy. Thank you, Natasha. I love you too. Hi. Hello. Yeah. So, as I was saying, and this is the first time, this is my third pregnancy with my son, and this has been the first time that I experienced excruciating teeth pain. Like, I have never experienced that before, when I gave birth to my two other children. But this one, it was really bad pain. I couldn't eat, my gum was swollen and stuff, and that was simply because the calcium was being pulled from my teeth. So anybody who is breastfeeding, I will advise you to definitely check in and make sure that you're taking your supplements, to help boost yourself, because your body will naturally take whatever the baby needs and give it to them. Yeah. So clear up that space there for now, please. Yeah, so that's generally it. Make sure that you are taking your supplements, especially if you're a breastfeeding mother. And for the men on here, if you do have wives or girlfriends that are breastfeeding, I will say ensure that you invest or help them invest in things that keep them healthy. Because if you don't have a healthy you, or for instance, if your wife isn't healthy, there isn't anything that they can help you with. So and there's also with the fact that, you know, there's hair shedding or hair loss when it comes to postpartum, you know. And when I say postpartum is the body recovering from birth, and that is not only with hormones but with organs and everything being pushed back into place as well. So that is really important. Yeah. So make sure that you all are taking your supplements. Like I didn't take any supplement other than my prenatal vitamins. I took that throughout breastfeeding with my first two, and you know, I stopped taking it like around 3 to 4 months, and I was good. But you know, the more children you have, and over time, your body tends to go through a lot of changes. Yeah, your body tends to go through additional changes the more children that you have. So bear that in mind, because when I gave birth to my son, to him, I experienced excruciating pain or contractions, I would say, after even giving birth to him, like for possibly roughly a month. After I gave birth to him, it was a lot worse. It was much more than the actual contractions of giving birth. So, but I have my birthing story coming. Once we hit that 4,000 watch hours, y'all will definitely know, and y'all will get that birthing story, because this birthing story was also very special because I did do a home delivery. So that was a beautiful experience. So I will share that when we reach at 4,000 watch hours, which is not very far. We are almost there. So for those of you who constantly interact with my content, thank you all so very much. And we also now have super chat. Mr. Muki, yes, I gave birth to 3 children. I gave birth to 3 children. Yeah, Mr. Muki. So like I was saying, we're almost at 4,000 watch hours. So y'all could be sure to, like and subscribe so that y'all could stay up to date with when we drop that video. You do literally everything. I don't do everything. But if the task is given to me, I can try everything. Do you have any single relatives looking for a good man? I don't think so at the moment. What can't you do? I don't know. Yeah, I can color. My son is coming to list out all the things that I do.
Edit.
You can tell them that.
I don't want.
You don't want to see? He's shy. Yeah. So yeah, I have that video coming pretty soon. And like I was gonna say, I believe it's your mama is superwoman. How is the pumpkin? Patty, the pumpkin is good. He's just a little tired, but generally once I'm doing things, he tends to try to stay up. And he will fight that sleep all the way to the end. Yeah. So his sister is already sleeping. She takes a nap during the day. I tend to, once we're home, there's a time that we tend to cut off to take a nap. Yes, okay. Yes, Patty, I still pump from time to time when I have jobs and I am busy, like I can't stop whatever I'm doing. But we are gonna soon be starting him. We're gonna be soon switching from that because right now I am supplying on a feed basis. So I would supply milk only when he is ready to be fed, or if he takes a really long time to feed, then I will be stored up. But it isn't, I'm not an oversupplier like I was before, where I could pump for one session and then I will have for like two sessions, two feeding sessions. I'm not gonna stop breastfeeding though. But what one of the things that he does do is he tends to fight the sleep a lot. And when I say fight the sleep, I mean if there's excitement or things or different activities going on around us, he will sacrifice eating in order to play. I'm not sure what child does not do that, but he does it much more. I'm currently on maternity leave and need to pump for when I go back to it. But then what I will tell you though is make sure, and if you want to pump to be able to store, one of the reasons I never got a chance to store is because we were doing some things home and we had to purchase a new deep freeze, which we got eventually. But in the time when I was an oversupplier, I just used to be able to pump enough so that I could have 2 feeding sessions. But what worked for me though, what worked for me though is one, if you have access to Vervine, it's a boy. once you have access to vervine, be sure to drink your vervine tea. If you can intake oatmeal, you can have a lot of that if you want to have it as a porridge, or if you want to have it as, cookies, you could do that. What else? Make sure you're eating your protein, a lot of protein, whether that be fish or chicken. A lot of protein is gonna get you that supply going. Water is essential. Make sure you drink a lot of water before your pumping session, and that is going to help. That is going to help a lot. I go in Cuba and come back. I'm not sure if you can make a wait that long. I'm gonna be live for a while, my love. So yeah, those are some things that helped me when I was pumping. Drinking a lot of water, making sure you drink your teas that promotes the production of breast milk, right? And for me, that is in the Caribbean. I used to have vervine, my same fever grass or lemongrass. What else? Cinnamon and bay leaf. All those teas actually do promote breast milk production, as well as your oats and stuff. If you can stomach milk, drinking a lot of milk stuff as well will help with the promotion of breast milk for pumping. But you do need to pump often, and when I say pump often, you create a rhythm when it comes to pumping, and that is you pump for 20 to 30 minutes, you rest, and then come back within 45 minutes to hour time and pump again for another 20 to 30 minutes, and you keep doing that throughout the day for like a week or so. But you have to be very careful with that though, making sure that you don't get, your nipple doesn't get sore, because when you do get sore, you aren't gonna be able to even pump or breastfeed unless you have the shield to cover. So that is something that you do want to take into consideration. 1 second, yes. But I will tell you the pump that I will tell you, there's a video on my channel where I unboxed the pump that I purchased from Amazon. And that pump, if you're looking for an affordable pump, an affordable hands-free pump, then that is budget friendly. So you could check out that video on my page. You could check out that video. Yes, I saw it. Yeah, so that works really well. It does have 4 different speeds, and I still have it. It works good, but I won't really use it, I don't use it as often like I did in the very early stages, simply because I am supplying milk on a feed. I saw one very similar, Twinkle Star. Yes, I think they had one there very similar to what I have, and I think it would work out. You would get it like roughly around the same, probably probably like $100 more, $100 TT more than what you would pay for it online. Yeah, but it was really good though. It is really good. I still have it, and it was actually the first pump that I've ever had that allowed me to pump, because I did try the traditional pumps, and I was not very successful with it with my 2 previous children. So I never actually got a chance to pump when I gave birth to them. So with this one, I got a chance to pump, and I got a chance to pump with him, and that pump was really good. Ow. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, if that's something that you are interested in, um, and for those who are breastfeeding mothers or know someone that is pregnant and you know, looking for a pump is but doesn't want to try a brand name pump first, then you could check out that video on my page. It is linked in the description down below in the video, and it works wonders for a budget friendly pump. He is sleepy, guys. My oven is just about almost ready with the temperature. It takes a little while to heat up because my oven is an electric oven, but the igniter sometimes gives me a little trouble, so I have to wait a little bit longer than the usual time that it will take to be preheated. But he is mommy and daddy's boy, so he tends to go by both of us. He loves both of us to hold him and stuff, and he loves his brother as well.
You forgot about me.
No, I didn't.
Then why didn't you say me?
Yeah. So what else do you guys want to know? Because we're waiting for our oven to heat up. So I'm happy to share with you guys anything that you all need to know. Today isn't gonna be a makeup day just yet. I don't think so. As we're in the kitchen, and I also had my daughters here to comb, but I thought I would have gotten to do it on the live. I'm not sure yet, but she's taking a nap, and when she naps, she usually naps for a long time. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm definitely staying with you guys until the bread is finished and until the chicken is finished, right? Yeah. Right, so let me go check on the bread. I'm gonna put the baby to play, and then we're gonna check on the bread and see how much the bread has risen and if it's ready to go into the oven one time, because we were here for a little while waiting, right? Michael, you could bring his toys here as well. So we're gonna get the bread. So our bread has started raising very nicely, and for those of you who were here when we put the bread in the pan, you all will know they weren't this size at all. So the bread definitely has more than doubled in size, but more like so tripled in size. So this is what it's looking like. I'm gonna put it on the table here because I did have it on the deep freeze, and I want to go get the chicken from the deep freeze. This is another bread. Also, something to note is that don't be scared when you see it like this and think it's not going to raise more. When you go to bake your bread as well, they do tend to raise more while it's baking. Right, this is our 2 other loaves. So they are definitely ready to go into the oven as well. Good. So let me just take you guys back a little. I'm gonna get my tray to put the chicken on. So this is the baking tray that I'm gonna use. Right, and this is my chicken here. So we're gonna put it onto the tray. If you have foil and you want to line your baking tray with foil first, that's okay. And whatever seasoning is remaining in the bowl, I'm just going to layer it over the chicken. We are not wasting anything. You can either cover this down with foil when it's baking for like the first 40 minutes, 40 minutes, and then uncover it and paste it with your sauces. So I'm going to put this in the oven and we're going to be checking this every 30 minutes, right? Our bread is also going to be going into the oven as well. And our bread is going to be baking, everything is going to be baking at 400 degrees. Our bread is just going to be baking between 20 to 25 minutes once we get that nice brown color, right? So I'm going to put this into the oven and this is what they are looking like. They are going to get a bit bigger as well. Right, so everything is in the oven. We are going to give the baby some Portugals, right? We're going to give the baby some Portugals. Hi Natasha, you came back. So he loves Portugals. So while we are waiting for everything to bake, because I do want to show you guys what it looks like as a finished baked product. Wait. Okay, he really likes this and he does not like to wait. Right, so we're having some Portugals. Yeah. I'm just gonna open it up. He likes this, he really does. And these have been very sweet, so you all know what's going on. I better start getting another one prepared one time. Wait. This fruit, watermelon. So Portugal watermelon and pawpaw. He has been really loving the both of them. Well, the three of them, not the both of them, but the three of them. The watermelon needs to be cold and the pawpaw needs to be frozen or really cold for him to really enjoy this. But this one, this Portugal, he enjoys it like at normal room temperature. Like I don't need to put it into the fridge and stuff beforehand. What fruits have you given to your baby, and also or going to try like purees and stuff? I do have some puree recipes on my channel for those of you who are interested. They are more in the shorts feed, so you're gonna have to search it and it's gonna come up. And these Portugals were really juicy, so he really did enjoy them. He had a lot over the weekend when we were by my granny. He did have a lot of it to eat. He will suck out all the juice. He won't really eat it per se, but he will suck off all the juice off of it and move on to another one. I have to get another one prepared because you're already seeing. I'm just removing the seeds from the center. Oh, he loves mango as well, but I haven't really got much mango since it started bearing. So you see he's having this over having his milk, which is still a plus because you know, he is intaking something healthy, so there's that plus. Fruits is ideal, and this is gonna give him, this is a citrus fruit, so it's gonna give him that vitamin C that he needs. Also this is like cold or flu season, so you know, ensuring that you do give your children things that are high in vitamin C, your oranges, your citrus fruits high in vitamin C to help fight off any flu or cold that it has out there. What's that? I'm not sure yet. So you see he's very quiet. He was just waiting on this. So y'all already know. Plenty Portugals. I will try him with orange. The last set of oranges that we got, they weren't very sweet. They were very sour. They just looked ripe, but they were very sour in taste. It was good for like making juice, right? But not really ideally for consuming, as is. It was really sour. So y'all could let me know what other recipes y'all want to see on my page, because I have been showing you guys, you know, a little bit of what I do on a day-to-day basis, but and you know, things that I would usually cook on a regular basis. But if you all want to see anything new, be sure to let me know. I said last time when I was baking bread, I do have a bread type recipe to bring to you guys. Actually two. I have a traditional hops recipe, and I also have a raisin bread recipe. Right? I do have a raisin bread recipe to share with you guys. So let me know if you all are interested in that, and what other type of recipes that you all want me to try. I do still have to go to look for some French recipes. One of my subscribers mentioned it like yesterday. I think I was live when I was live. So yeah. Then he wants another one. Just now. The baby one. He is also teething right now, so he's biting now on everything. So what I will do just now is go back through my comments to see what I missed and who I did not respond to. Let me see. In terms of asking a question or comment. Alright, so I answered about the pump, giving birth, the supplements, how many loaves. We're making 4 loaves of bread today. Am I married? Yes, I am happily married. Yeah, I responded to everyone. Let me just go wash off the baby and I'll be right back. My God, could you bring Shana's Colic away from me, please? Yeah. Good. Nice. I want to do have to double check on something here. We're just checking our items in the oven. Michael, can you wash up these ones?
You can. You can, Mom. Okay, okay. I need to take this down.
Right, so our items are coming along just fine, right? So the bread is gonna be finished soon. We're just waiting for that to finish. I'll show you guys that. I will show you guys what the chicken looks like as well. What else? Well, let me know what else I'm forgetting, guys. So you all did also get to see me making seasoning, a different method of making seasoning. So you don't always need to use your blender. If you have a chopper, you can use that. It's just gonna give you like a chopped grainy type. So let me show you what it looks like, and you don't need any water to blend it out. So essentially using the chopper is going to give you a result like this. Same really good smell. It just does not contain any liquid. I would tend to typically use this method when I'm not bulk making seasoning, which means, hi Natasha, which means essentially I'm making just a small batch of seasoning. I was just saying that using the chopped method, yeah, right, yeah. So essentially, if you're looking to make a small batch of seasoning, you could use the chopped method. If you're looking to make seasoning like in abundance, that's probably gonna last you 3 weeks to 1 month, then using the blender method is going to work ideal for that. So in addition to that, when I buy seasoning like a bulk format, I would tend to also hand chop some seasoning, and this is what I would add to my foods while it's cooking. So even though I added the blender seasoning, which is blended with water, or the chopped seasoning, I would still go back in. Once I have the extra seasoning, I will go back in with hand chopped seasoning to add to our dishes to slowly integrate the flavors into the food, right? So those are the methods that work for me, right? So you all could try those are what, three methods of utilizing green seasoning. So my first timer just went off, and I want to double check my oven again to see what's happening. So I will give my bread like 10 more minutes. It is starting to get a nice brown color, but it still has some white spots. So can you put a 10 minutes timer for me, please? So I didn't cook food today. I came home yesterday, and whatever my granny cooked yesterday is what I brought home today. So I just topped up on bread, and also I topped up on my husband's baked chicken, because I do meal prep for him with like baked chicken, eggs, boiled eggs, and veggies. So that's what he would usually eat. So I tend to have those things prepared for him to eat his meals. Those are what he eats for like breakfast or lunch and dinner. Snacks are generally healthy, like fruits and stuff. So today was a restock day of those two things, bread and the baked chicken, because essentially when I bake bread, I like to bake chicken at the same time, so that the oven is on in one go, and I don't need to turn on the oven like later in the evening or the next day. Hold this side. No, this side. This side? This side here. This side? Yeah. Say hi. Yeah. So we'll decide what we're cooking tomorrow, and y'all would get a look at what we decide to cook tomorrow. So I will go live to show you guys that. If my daughter gets up within the time that we're still live, we can do her hair as well. What? No, one piece. One piece. I'm going to put some Right, so lunch is pretty simple. Fried rice and baked chicken. That is what is lunch. So my son is now about to have lunch. I actually had lunch. I skipped breakfast this morning, guys. Bad idea. Don't advise. But I skipped breakfast this morning and I went straight for lunch. So I already had lunch prior to going live. Yeah. Make sure. Right, so I already had lunch prior to that, but lunch is, like I said, lunch is pretty simple. I had lunch, the same lunch with you guys I ate yesterday on live, for those of you who were actually live. I did come on to eat my Sunday lunch and show you guys typically what a Sunday lunch looks like in Trinidad. Fried rice, well, usually we like fried rice, macaroni salad, callaloo, potato salad, baked chicken or stew chicken, sometimes even provision. But we did something pretty simple, which was just fried rice, potato salad and baked chicken. It was really, really simple. I said the fried rice, right? My son is making sure that I remember to say fried rice. Hi.
Hi.
Tell her your name.
My name is Michael Labor. Hi. So I'm just taking out food for me. Of course, if my eye is going this way, I don't know why it's doing that.
Okay. He's a little shy to talk, guys.
Only if it's my channel, then.
He says only, he'll talk only if it's his channel. So for those of you who are new here, so he's showing you guys his food. So for those, can you bring up the chair, please?
Okay.
For those of you who are new here, I show family-oriented content, and also, thank you, I would show family-oriented content as well as cooking, food prep. So the food prep comes with the cooking and how I may prepare food for my family, as well as some beauty services, because my profession is generally doing hair and makeup. So y'all are gonna see a lot of that on my page, and my husband does photography, so when I do some get readies with me, we tend to have little mini photo shoots where I show you guys those pictures, so y'all could actually see some of the pictures that we took in the community section of my page, right? And I just want to tell you guys, thanks for those of you who actually watch my content a lot, right? Because y'all are helping me to get to 4,000 watch hours, right? And not many, like I had this conversation a while back on one of my lives where I mentioned that YouTube is actually my digital diary, right? I use it for my digital diary purposes. And when I say that, I mean that it can be used for my children to look back and see how to do things. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. So, hi, Julia. I think that's what it says. I think that's, I'm hope I'm not butchering it. But yeah, YouTube is literally my digital diary, and it's a way for me to connect with you guys and also to leave videos, physical videos of the way that I do things for my children, for my family to see, and it's also a way for me to help my extended family that don't live in Trinidad, who are interested in learning Trinidad type cuisines, just to share recipes with them so that they can do it when they are feeling for, food from home, but they're not home. They live in the States, so that they live in the States and Canada, etc. So my page serves that type of purpose to help those persons that are interested in learning about Trini cuisines, as well as my methods of how I do things, how I would bake, how I would cook, how I would switch up different recipes and make it into my own. So y'all are gonna see that. Y'all are also gonna see the way that I would parent, or the way that I would prepare food. My beauty services consists of makeup and hair, so y'all are gonna see some of those things on my page as well. And I love to show you guys the beauty aspect of my life, because it is something that I'm very passionate about as well, just as much as cooking. I love to cook though, because I love to see my family, the way that they enjoy the food that I prepare for them. We would go out and we would have food, and they would always say they prefer my food over food that we buy outside. But there are some days that we do tend to buy food, because I may be a bit tired, or I may have a lot going on that I may not be able to prepare a specific meal for them. So when those times happen where it's like an on the spot decision to head out and food isn't prepped, we buy food. Right? Yeah, so by now our bread should be ready, so I'm going to take out the bread out of the oven, right, and show you guys what it looks like. Let me just put the baby in the high chair, because I'm going to be opening the oven. So we do have our cooling rack Let me just get these things sorted to the side. Here's some. Let me just give the baby this. Here, Papa. Alright, so we're gonna start taking out the bread out of the oven. And our bread has a beautiful, nice brown color. Look at that. So we're gonna put it onto the cooling rack. We have another one here. So I'm just putting it onto the cooling rack. Let me take you guys back a little. You can zoom out. We have another one here. And we have our fourth one here. Alright, so these are our loaves of bread that we made today. We made 4 of them. I'm gonna take some butter or margarine, as some persons may know it as, and just coat the top of our bread. You don't need to go and melt it down or anything. You're just coating the top of the bread like that. And then we're gonna cover with a damp cloth. Hi Natasha. We're gonna cover with a damp cloth. Just in case you don't like how, if the top of your bread has gotten a bit stiff, covering it with a damp cloth as soon as it comes out of the oven will help soften the top of the bread. Is that it? Right, and we're just covering it with a damp cloth. Oh, let me show you guys what it looks like before we cover it. So this is what our bread looks like. Very beautiful. Right, we're covering it with a damp cloth, and we're gonna prepare the sauce for the chicken. And our sauce is going to be pretty simple. So we're gonna get a bowl. I do have some packs of ketchup that I want to use out before I open up a new pack, and I'm using Swiss tomato ketchup. I do have more ketchup in the cupboard, but I want to make sure I use out this set. Before we open up any more ketchup. I want a clean cut. This is going to give our chicken color and a nice outer layer flavor. One more. You finished it all? Right, so we're just making sure we clean up these packs of ketchup before we throw them out, because nothing is going to be wasted. This is roughly, you could say, 1 cup of ketchup. I'm going to add some of that seasoning that we crushed up. Just like this much. I'm going to also add some pink salt. And some cayenne pepper. Right, and we're gonna mix that. If you have barbecue sauce, you can add a little bit to it as well, but this is what I am using today. And I also am going to put some water to thin this down. Alright, so I am going to put some water because this is a bit too thick, so we want to thin it down a little. You could use room temperature water, hot water, it doesn't matter. I'm using a little bit of hot water. So our chicken has essentially been baking for like 30 minutes. So as that 30 minutes has come to a close, we're going to take it off. We want to make sure that this is mixed in really good though. Alright. Before we start pasting it or putting it onto our chicken. So let's just set that aside and take our chicken out of the oven. Alright, so this is our tray. Our chicken has started to get that nice steam. It has started to cook a lot as well. It has not gotten dark whatsoever. But I am making leg quarters. So with making the leg quarters, what tends to happen though is that because it's a thigh, it releases its own extra fat. Good thing is that we removed a lot of the skin that contains a lot of the fat, so I don't need to drain excess fat here. So I'm just going to put that sauce that we made on top of the chicken. And this is going to give our chicken a beautiful color. And then we're going to cover this down and allow this to bake for like another 30 minutes. Right? If you have a brush and you prefer to brush it on, that's fine. But to me, I just think it takes a longer time to brush it on than to just put it with a spoon. You just need to make sure that all your chicken is gotten evenly coated. You're not sleepy? So I will, when I finish pasting it, I will show you guys what it looks like before we cover it back down and put it into the oven. Good. So I've pasted it, and I don't think y'all could see it from there, but this is what it looks like. Right? So that's what it looks like. I am going to cover it back down with this same tray. If you have foil and you want to do it with foil, that's fine. But I don't have any foil at the moment, so we're using another tray. Ah, somebody's here. And I'm going to put this into the oven. Daddy's here. Daddy's here. Hold on, guys. Okay. So my husband just came to drop some stuff for us, so we're just gonna do that and come back real quick. Alright, so we're just gonna get the things from my husband and we'll be right back. Well, he said he's bringing it for me, but I want to make sure that we get everything, right? And some juices. Huh? So we're doing unboxing. So he rides motorbike. Right? And remember we were talking about the breastfeeding thing earlier on. So we are gonna starting off on some clip. We are gonna start the baby off on some clips. So my husband brought that home for me, and so this is gonna be the baby's own. So yeah, hi Natasha. Oh, this is so nice. I don't like it too. Ah,
What I do?
right. What's that? Some creatine for my husband. What's it? Got some immune booster. We got 2 sets of that. Some more African sea coconut, and we have the calcium and the magnesium that I take. So that's our little haul there. Alright, so that's our little haul there. Oh, and he bought some perfume as well. What's this? What's it? So let me see if I can pronounce these names. No, I can't. All I can pronounce on this one is vibrato, right? So yeah, he's been wanting to see me. Come here. Well, I'll try and see. Alright, and this other one is cosmic pepper. Guys, smell nice. Right. Okay. We're not showing, we're showing what you do? No? Yeah? Okay, so I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what my husband does, because okay, just as he's still in uniform. So my husband rides motorbike, right? So when I say he's in national security, that's what I meant, right? So he just came home to drop off some things, right? So he's gonna turn and head back to work. Say hi.
Hi.
So he just came home to drop off some things for me. So y'all are getting a lot of insight on my life, man. Truly. Right? So y'all got a little snippet of, yeah. So y'all got a little snippet of a little behind the scenes. Mr. Mookie, he's about police officer. Hi Stevie, how are you doing? Yes, my husband is a police officer. Come on. Mr. Mookie, we family now, yeah? So what? Why you say we're family now? We were family all the time? We weren't family all the time? I don't understand that one. He's a Trinidad police officer. Damn, yes. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Nice. My husband is a sailor. Okay, nice. So, we made the decision to start our toddler, or baby, not toddler, but our baby out on Clim. Now you being secretive, not trying to let us in on your life outside of cooking. Well, you got a little bit of the inside of the outside of cooking.
Can I have a piece of your bread, please?
Just now. Go check Shalom off. And yeah. So no. So yeah. He's in, when I say he's in national security, yeah. So as I was saying, we actually made the decision to y'all are in the comments being wild. Um, we made the decision to put our toddler, well, our baby on the clim and nestum, and reason for that is because he has not really been feeding as much as he should, and but however he does drink from the bottle really well, except I am not supplying the breast milk like how he would feed when he's feeding like directly from the breast. So I would tend to have to take him away from everything in order for him to actually be fed properly, but he takes a bottle really well. So we decided that and also for my health as well, because I have, even though I'm taking this supplement, but high bread feed, but with taking these supplements I still have a lot of pain in my teeth, and that is because he is teething. So all in all, we take a lot of things into consideration to make sure that both mommy and baby is healthy, right? So the water just finished. I'm going to make a bottle and we'll see how he does with it. Right, so I'm just setting you guys back up by the tripod. Sorry guys. So yes, Mr. Mookie, you got a little bit of an insight on my life outside of cooking, but then you really must not be here often though, because I share lots of my life. I think he'll be okay with the bottle. I think so too. I'm just fixing my phone back into the tripod. Michael, can you set a 20 minutes timer for me, please? That's all, guys. Yeah, 20 minutes timer. Right, so I think by now when he gets this, he's gonna probably go to nap, because y'all, he has been up. I just found your channel last week. I'm fairly new here. Okay, that's fair to find. But yeah, I share things outside of me cooking. Come on. Right? So we have the nestum and we have the clim, and we're gonna make a bottle and see how he does. I had water hotted in the kettle. So yeah, let's go. I'm gonna get his bottles and I'll be right back. Michael, I'm gonna make a bottle for him. Sorry, Bobby.
Fire on fire.
Nice. Did you set the timer for me? Okay, excellent. So I'm gonna put some hot water in here. That's it. They're just busting the seal open on these things. They don't have any scoops, but the good thing I kept scoops from before. But wait now, I know, okay, Mr. Stevie, you have been in the background there all the time and you didn't say anything. So I'm gonna do 2 scoops of nestum and 2 scoops of milk. So y'all are actually gonna see the switch first hand. What you want? Yep. see on the live firsthand us making that switch, and y'all could see him, and you're gonna hear him in the background. He's not fond of this, as in waiting.
That's not mom. I see you.
Alright, we're just waiting for this to cool a little. So I think he's gonna be good with this. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, he's definitely loving this. We'll know how much. I did make a 8-ounce bottle for him, so we will see how much he drinks. Chances are after he has this, he's gonna take a good sleep. So he doesn't want to lie down. He wants to sit up and drink his tea because he already knows he's gonna fall asleep. Michael, come please. Can you bring this closer to me?
Am I the behind the scenes person?
Yeah, right now, yeah. What you? So, yeah. So he's having the bottle. I am still going to breastfeed him from time to time as well, but yeah, he don't mind the bottle. He loves to try food, so him actually taking the bottle is going to be, you know, he's actually gonna get in the food that he has been missing. But generally, while things are happening around, he would try foods, but he wouldn't actually drink his tea like he's supposed to. So giving him the bottle is really going to help ensure that he eats on time. I'm not sure how much of it he's gonna drink, because obviously it isn't only milk alone, it does have the cereal in the tea as well. So when from this first bottle, because he generally didn't really eat anything while we were live other than the Portugal, you know, he is going to, we'll know how much tea he consumes, so that the next time around I make a bottle for him, I would know generally how much he's gonna drink. But he definitely likes this. 100%. So this is the first time that he is drinking milk outside of breast milk. So yeah. So today you all got to see a lot more of my life behind the kitchen or the camera. I hope you all enjoy seeing that little part of my life outside the kitchen, and well, you know, more seeing what my husband does than what I do, because you all wanted to know, right? You opening up. What other part of my life do you want to know? I show you guys, well, you said you're new here, so I did show you what my husband does other than being a police officer. He does do photography. So like 2 weeks ago I took you all on a photo shoot that we had at the botanical gardens. What else? And generally we just work, cook, you know. So that has been our life. Isn't anything as exciting happening? I'll have to go back and watch the botanical gardens live. Yeah, we did. So I did a photo shoot, and there we also did. I had snow cones with them on the live, and then we did some doubles. What else? We were going to do grocery shopping, but I started getting really bad reception in the grocery, so I had to stop the live, and then I went back live later on in the day. So he just drank like about a 1 ounce. So right for the while, he will come back and drink some more after. I'm pretty sure about that. He's watching the bottle, so I think he's finished. Okay, so he doesn't look like he wants any more. I think he'll go to sleep soon. He's been fighting that sleep for a while. Yes. So I'm glad you all got a chance to see how much he's been fighting that sleep. He truly has been fighting his sleep. Because he has not slept since we started the live. Right before I started the live is when he took a nap. So he actually didn't sleep for very long. It was just like about 30 minutes, and I got to have lunch in that time, and that was it. So we'll see. But yeah, he's been fighting his sleep. Hi pretty mama, how are you? I am good. So let me go just check the timer and see how much more time we have on the chicken, and I'll take the chicken out of the oven and show you guys how it looks, as well as put it back in. How much more time we have on the timer, son? How much? So we have like 8 more minutes on the timer. So when that 8 minutes is up, then I will check the chicken and show you guys what it looks like. So I want to wait on that 8 minutes. But he has been really fighting his sleep. Hi Natasha. What's up? Nothing much. We are just I'm waiting to show you guys. Do you like chicken kosa? It's a spicy. I've never heard of that before. Okay, so he really is full. He drank about an ounce, but it's much thicker than what he's accustomed to. But you all know he's sleepy. But I've never had that before. I'll probably have to check out a recipe and give it a try, and I'll let you know how it tastes. What type of dish is it? Like, where is it from? So the nap is coming in. You all can see that. He's gonna fight it still though, but he's gonna do everything to avoid sleeping. I like cooking because I'm a foodie. Yes, I'm a foodie too, but I tend to usually have to cook, or not cook, but I tend to have to eat in like small portions. That works best for me. So sometimes I could have like five different meals throughout the day, but it must be like in small portion sizes. I like to snack a lot too. I love snacks. It depends on the snacks though. But I like snacks. Like fish. I really only eat saltfish, which is like a cod fish in Trinidad. Outside of that, I don't really eat much fish. Or smoked herring. Y'all think he will fall asleep now? Hmm? Y'all think he's gonna sleep? Thank you. Y'all, he's doing everything not to sleep, and y'all could see that. So this is generally what tends to happen. He will find everything else to do, raise up, do the most, something, a fly might pass, and that will openly distract him, and he'll just fly up and wake up. So yeah. So y'all could also feel free, for those who have access to super chats, y'all could hit that target that we set down below there. Right? And also for those of you who are new here, we are almost at 4,000 watch hours, guys, and I can tell you that that could not be possible without you guys here and supporting me. So I really do appreciate those of you who share my content, and those of you who share, or those of you who come on live and interact with me on my live and share it to persons who have similar interests to what I do, right? So that is so greatly appreciated, guys. I think we're gonna, too soon. We're gonna be falling asleep soon. Michael, can you bring down his mattress today? Right, so he's gonna fall asleep soon, and we may just have to wait just a little when the timer goes off, because you know you don't want to put him to lie down too soon and then he wakes back up and we're back at square one. So generally he did drink 1 full ounce of, an ounce and a half of tea. Yeah, 1 ounce and a half, but it is something new to him. So yeah, he's been fighting this sleep for the past 3 hours when we were live. Yeah, so it is something new to him. So he has never drank anything outside of, well, like juice and water, but outside of breast milk. So it is, I think it's a bit much, it's a bit heavier for him. So we do have to gradually increase how much he drinks, and we will see where it goes from there. But this is only the first serving. So we will see how that goes. For those of you who have been on my channel from the inception of my channel, you will know I have been on a breastfeeding journey, and my daughter, which is my second child, she breastfed all the way to 2 years old, right up until the day that I gave birth to him. So I breastfed for 2 years. My first son I breastfed for 6 months, and well, with him, he's 7 months. So this is going to be a combination of bottle and breastfeeding. So the milk was generally integrated at 7 months. So yeah. But he's sleepy. So that bottle, Mr. Mookie, definitely helps put him to sleep. So we have a sleeping baby, guys. Yes, why I have 3 kids? Are you asking why I have 3 kids, or do I have 3 kids? I have 3 children. Will she want some? Alright, so I'm just gonna put him to sleep, and then we're gonna check that chicken, right? I'll be right back. So we got through, guys. Alright, so let me take you guys back here and show you. I'm gonna take the chicken out of the oven, and it was right on time, 8 minutes. Ooh, we have a nice color, but I do want to wait a second. So we do have a nice color, but I am going to paste it again and leave it uncovered for like around 10 minutes. Just for about 10 minutes for it to take a beautiful color. We wanted the sauce to really get in the chicken. That's why we left it covered for that 20 minutes. So for those of you who are interested, you're a perfect wife. I like you. Your husband is blessed because he got you. You're a perfect wife. Lots of blessings. Thank God, but I do fall short from time to time, just as anybody else would. I really do try my best to, do what is required of me as a wife. Not every day it's a perfect day, I could tell you that. Could you set a 10-minute timer for me, please? Right, so we're just putting our chicken in the oven for like 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna take it out, and that will be the end of our chicken, right? So we can start to probably clean up our table, because guys, we have a lot of things going on the table here. My God. And strangely enough, I do have a thermos. So seeing that my son is gonna be drinking bottle now as well, I am gonna prepare some hot water to put into the thermos so that we have hot water for whenever we are ready to make a bottle for him, right? But like I said, he just drank like 1.5 ounces. So I'm gonna prepare the kettle to put some hot water in this, and you guys wouldn't believe this. I got this thermos gifted to me as a baby shower gift with my daughter, and I never used it because my daughter never breastfed. My daughter never bottle fed. We did buy the bottle for her, well, Clem and stuff for her, like when she was like 1.5 years old, and she never took it. Never. Not even a little. And she just came off the breastfeeding and never looked back at milk at all. So yeah. And I do have, well, my husband brought my supplements for me, which are this calcium. He bought, I was finished with the first bottle. My husband and I, we were taking this calcium. And he also brought the magnesium as well, because, so fun fact that I actually discovered through taking my supplements, or when I was doing my research on the supplements that I should take, in order for your body to absorb the calcium, you have to take it with magnesium. Otherwise, the calcium is just going to pass through the body. If you want full absorption of the calcium within the body, you need to take it with magnesium. But please do your own research. I did my research, and that is how I came up with what I need, and obviously getting professional advice on what to take as well after doing my research. So, and there's these two combined with my D3. I'm looking for my D3. Right. So my D3. So these are usually the 3 supplements I will take. Hey, is there a way I can get in contact with you so I can get some products shipped to the US? We don't have the natural herbs and things you have there. I would have to do my research on that, simply because I have to dig into the research on what can be shipped out, right? Yes, you could email me, my username 96@gmail.com. Right? So you're gonna use my handle, my name, my YouTube handle, so cheriseauguste96@gmail.com. But yeah, what I will do is, if you're referring to these natural herbs, I will check to see if they're on Amazon. I can do that right now for you. And so a few things I need from your country. Thank you so much. So generally, if you are talking about the supplements that I take, I'm going to check to see if they are online. But I do know that there are some West Indian groceries that you could get some of our local items in. So you could send me an email. I will do the research for you, because I have never actually shipped out anything from Trinidad to the US, because generally who my family who lives in the US, they visit regularly. They visit Trinidad regularly. So when they need to carry back anything, um, they just come and buy it in bulk here and then carry it. So yeah, but if you're talking about like supplements wise, I'm gonna check to see if it's on Amazon, and I will link it in my description for you, so that you can probably get it. So I'm just waiting for my tablet to load here, and I'll do that for you one time. So that is if you're talking about the supplements. Sea moss and budroot yellow duck. So oh, okay, I will link. Let me see if the one I get, the sea moss that I get, I usually buy it from a company down here or the market, but let me check to see if they still have it. Mommy's cooking. Okay, so I'm not seeing the dried sea moss that I usually use here, because I usually get my sea moss at the market when I make sea moss gel, because I make sea moss gel for my family. I've searched, we have to get directly from countries that have this. You could send me an email and I'll discuss it with my husband, and we'll find the best route to get that done. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk. Right. So yeah. Let me check the. Oh, my kettle is finished. So I do have to pour some of that. This man. Hello, hi. Alright, so let me just wash this off. For hot water. Need bread? Sure thing. Thank you so much for your help. I will send you an email now so you can check when you're off. Thanks to you and your husband. I will double check. I'm definitely not making any promises. I have to check to make sure that it's accessible and it can be shipped out. Now bread. Alright, so we have our hot water. So this is for when we need to make tea for the baby. So let's check that chicken. Y'all, and our chicken is completed. Let me just get a fork to make sure. Right, so our chicken is fully cooked. Yum. That's our mama. Hold it. So I'm gonna switch the camera for y'all to see what the chicken looks like. So it's fully seasoned, right? Hot, hot, just on. My son is very dramatic, guys.
No, I'm not.
You wanna taste piece of chicken, mama?
Mama, I'm not dramatic.
Yeah. Have to blow it, huh? So this is our chicken, guys. Right, and for those of you who stayed throughout our live today, thank you so very much. That concludes our live for right now. We made bread, we did the chicken.
Mommy, I said my dad don't touch the bucket.
Right, so yeah, it looks really delicious. It tastes really delicious. Hey, none of that out the kitchen, both of you. Right, yeah, so that concludes our live for today. Right, or for this session. I'm not sure if when my husband comes home if we will have anything planned. So if you all may see me live, so if you all want to see me, if you all want to see much more of my lives and you have never been here before, don't forget to like and subscribe. So today we did the baked chicken. So that is my husband's chicken to meal prep for him, and he generally eats that with boiled egg and veggies, sweet potatoes sometimes, because he eats much more on the healthier side in terms of control carbs and that kind of thing, as well as our bread. No, not yet. Thank you. Just not hot, hot, hot. Don't put your hand there. Right? You like it? It tastes good? Okay, 1 second. Right, so yeah, so that's it for today or for this session, guys. Thank you all so very much, and I will see you all in the next one. So she just woke up, so she has to eat and stuff before we comb her hair. Right, tell them bye.
Bye.
Right, so we'll see you all in the next one, guys. Bye.